In the first two parts of this three-part series, we started by talking about some of the differences between ADHD and autism and the difficulty in determining which is which. And then in part two, we talked about some of the science behind this and some of the new methods that are being used to help determine whether it's ADHD or autism at an earlier stage so that diagnosis happens sooner and treatment plans can happen sooner. But before we talk any more today about the oils, which is the next topic up, I want to play for you a short video. This is a young man who's autistic with his mom trying to have some lunch. And he's having a bit of an autistic episode that she's using oils to bring him back from. Just have a look at the results, and then we'll talk about some of the specific oils. As you can see in this video, she used lavender, both the roll-on version, which she puts directly onto his skin, and then the oils that she places on the stuffed toy so that he can inhale. And if you watch carefully, the effect is almost immediate. He goes from fairly severe to relatively calm and able to eat his lunch. And lavender certainly isn't the only oil that can be used to achieve those kinds of results. So let's talk a little bit about the specific oils now. Let's talk first about bergamot. This is the one oil that is specifically helpful for autism, not so much with ADHD. It creates a feeling of joy, really an uplifting feeling. It improves blood circulation. And for this reason, it's particularly good essential oil to treat ASD symptoms. For slightly different reasons then, each of the following oils is effective for both ADHD and autism. And we'll start with cedarwood, which is seen as improving oxygenation in the brain cell, in brain cells rather. So it really helps invigorate the brain, help it function more effectively, and to really have more energy. Then there's the classic frankincense, one of the three gifts of the wise men. Frankincense helps both, again, ADHD and autism, but it's particularly helpful for autism in that the research really is suggesting that it helps reduce negative emotions. It really has a calming effect and brings those negative emotions back down under control. Lavender, of course, you've already seen. It has very definitely a calming effect. It's also really good for helping to induce a deep, restful sleep. A few drops placed on the sole of the foot, or as you saw in the video, massaged into the back of the neck and the temples and inhaled. Does an excellent job of calming and inducing sleep. Peppermint is next, and it's intended really to induce calmness, restfulness, relax the person. It it can be a bit sensitive to the skin. So for some people, you need to dilute this with a carrier oil like fractionated coconut oil or VCO or jojoba oil. But it really does a very good job of just calming that restlessness. In the same study that looked at frankincense, they also looked at rosemary and found that it has very definite impact on cognition and concentration. And again, this affects both ADHD and autism almost in the same way. Then we have Roman chamomile and ylang ylang. And both of these reduce anxiety, reduce depression, that sense of weightiness on an individual. They're both very easy oils, so they can be applied directly to the skin and inhaled. And in both methods of application, they have a similar impact. I have sandalwood on this list, but actually this is only marginally here. It does help induce calmness and improve mental clarity, or at least there are some studies that suggest that it does. But its primary medicinal purpose is to reduce inflammations, which really aren't something that people with ADHD or autism need to worry about very much. I include it here for its calming effect, but there are probably other oils that are more effective. And one of those is vetiver. Vetiver has a really good calming effect, similar to lavender. And when lavender doesn't seem to be doing the job quite as well as you'd like it to, vetiver is a very good alternative oil to be looking at. Then there's orange. And actually, any of the citrus oils have a similar effect. They reduce stress. They induce a calming feeling. They reduce anxiety. They give the individual a boost. Just a little bit of extra energy, a little bit of extra focus. And particularly for autistic children, they help them better manage communicational and relational barriers that make it difficult for them to interact with others. So in total, we're looking at 11 different oils that are proven beneficial for those suffering with ADHD and autism. And one of the key things to remember is that all of the oils you use have to be 100% pure. You have to be very careful about this because many of the oils that are available, especially some of the cheapest ones, will have other chemicals in them that will make them harmful rather than helpful. So first and foremost, you need to look for oils that are 100% pure. And then you'll have to experiment a little bit because each child is a little bit different. Each child will respond a bit differently to each of these oils. Each child will gain more benefit or less benefit. And you as parents really are going to have to be watching carefully to see just how each of the oils is influencing your child, whether or not there's any tolerance buildup, so that maybe you need to switch oils now and then from one to another. And just be aware. Obviously, you're already very aware, but to just be aware of each of the oils and the impact they're having so that you can really create your own recipe, if you will, for the oils that best fit your child. Hope this has all been helpful. It's been great fun doing this. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me a private message. You can also email me at glenngiuffre@gmail.com. Giuffre is Giuff as in Frank, R-E. I'll be happy to offer any assistance I can. Thank you and take care.